She is short in stature, to say the least, but mighty in spirit. Let me tell you that. Ambitious, the co-founder of BTBY, Becoming the Best You. We actually started at the same time, around the same time, I didn't even know, with Activate Your Power and BTBY. So we're definitely in alignment. But she's definitely a woman on a mission, a woman who knows what she wants and won't stop until she gets it. She has been just an immense help in my life, providing that love and upliftment when things weren't, I would say, as great. She's been there for me and for other people. Just ask around. Let's give it up for Brenda Ringwood.
Yeah.
Gratitude. How many of you have that? Come on. We all have something to be grateful for, right? So I see Pat over here. She had her arms going up because we did that once before. So everybody raise those arms. Come on. Let's get that gratitude out. Let's receive it. Let's receive it. You know, it's a lifestyle, right? It's a lifestyle. It's kind of like a diet. If you don't keep eating the foods that's going to keep you slim, you're eventually going to get fat. I'm a representative of that. I mean, I just am. I like my food. I was just talking about that with Izzy. I'm a stress eater. That's my drug of choice, right? But if I consistently make the choice to eat healthy, then I'm going to have a consistent weight, right? So I have to appreciate, I have to have gratitude for knowing my faults. Do we have faults? We do. I have a lot of faults. And I like to talk about the faults because when you talk about it, you are first acknowledging that you have them. How many of you have lots of faults? Yeah, and it's okay. There's only one perfect man that I know of. We're going to talk a little bit about that. So lifestyle change. Lifestyle change is a mindset. Grace said it. It's also an emotion, right? Gratitude is an emotion. It's also a verb. Can it be a noun? What's a noun? Person, place, or thing. So is it a noun? It kind of is everything because it is part of you. So I'm going to take you back to 11th century BC. Long time ago. Completely different lifestyle than we live today, right? There was a woman named Hannah, and she was barren. She couldn't have kids. Not only was she barren, she was being taunted because of it. Because it was kind of a curse to not have children back then. And not only was she just being taunted by people outside of her circle, she was the other wife married to the same man that another woman was married to. And that woman had children, lots of children. She had none. She was angry. She was mad at God. But she was also very grateful because God had blessed her in so many different ways. So she decided to continue to pray day in and day out and persevere. And she continued to express her anger with him at the same time having gratitude. Can you imagine that? Man, I'm mad at you. I'm mad at you. But I love you, Lord. Right? How many of us tell our children that? How many of us tell other people that? I don't like you right now, but I love you. We all go through that. She's living a life of gratitude because she has faith and she's persistent in her faith. Now, faith can be in anything. It doesn't necessarily have to relate to a spiritual being. You can have faith that you're going to overcome something. You can have faith that you're going to go on vacation. You can have faith that you're going to get that promotion. Faith is believing in something. So if you're going to believe in something, what are you going to do to get it, right? What are you So Hannah continues to pray and pray and pray. So she goes to the synagogue. She's in Israel, and there is a judge there. His name is Eli. And she confides in Eli, and she talks with Eli, and Eli is, kind of telling her what the scriptures are saying, what God's saying, what she needs to do. And she's persistent with her commitment to her faith. She's persistent with being grateful. He says, you need to go home, go on with your life, keep doing what you're doing. I think your stuff's getting ready to happen for you. I'm paraphrasing. She goes home, she has relations with her husband, and she gets pregnant. And she says, God, I'm going to give this child to you. I'm going to give, if it's a boy, I'm going to give him to you. How many of you guys are going to give up your kids because you're grateful? You ever think about it? There's times you might want to, right? But how are you going to make a sacrifice to have the gratitude to be thankful in every situation of your life? So can you imagine knowing now I'm pregnant? You don't know what you're having back in 11th century BC. And then you have this precious baby boy. And she names him Samuel, which means God heard me. He heard me. She has this child. She's nursing him. She's taking care of him. And the minute that he's weaned, she takes him to Eli. And she says, here's my son. I'm giving him to God. I'm giving him to you to raise. And she was grateful for that. She was grateful that she had this child. And she had a life of gratitude because of her faith. She knew that if she was persistent and that she followed what her job was supposed to be according to what God wanted for her, this was probably going to happen. It was just a matter of when. He goes, he becomes a child of God, and he goes on to become a great judge. See, they didn't have the government like we have today back then. They didn't even have kings back then. The judges ran the country. Samuel grew up to be a judge. He grew up to be a great judge. Not only did he become a judge because of his mother's gratefulness and because of his love for what she did and his commitment because of her commitment, he was also a prophet, and God was able to speak to him. He could hear God's voice. How many of you guys hear God's voice? Are you listening though? Because if you're hearing his voice, you better have gratitude. You better have gratitude. Can you imagine raising a son that you probably never thought was going to happen, right? You had faith that maybe it was going to happen, but you really weren't quite sure. So I'm having the gratitude because I already have a great life. I'm having the gratitude because I have a great husband. See, what I didn't tell you was her husband loved her better than the other wife. He would give her double the food portions, even though they didn't have kids. But she got so angry and so upset that she couldn't eat. She couldn't function because she was taunted by her foes. She was taunted by the other wife. But yet, she was still grateful for her life. Samuel. There's 2 books in the Bible about him. Ruth has her own book of the Bible. There's a lot of women that are in the Bible. Esther. And then we have Hannah, who is just in a little section of the first book of Samuel. But her son went on to name the first king. See, when Samuel grew up and then had a family of his own, his children were wicked. They were evil. Can you imagine? All this gratefulness, and now his bloodline is evil. The people said, no more judges, we want a king. We want a king. He appoints Saul. Saul turned evil. He appoints David. He appoints David, whose bloodline is where Jesus Christ comes from. all because one woman had gratitude. So how many of you guys got gratitude? I got the joy, 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 joy down in my heart. Where? Come on, guys. Down in my heart. I got the joy, 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 joy down in my heart Tuesday. Everybody, come on now. And I'm so happy, so very happy. I have gratitude in my heart. I'm so happy, so very happy. I have gratitude in my heart. I'm not a singer, but singing releases endorphins, and it makes you be in a better mood. When you're in a better mood, you have room in your heart for gratitude. You have room in your heart to love this man. The anger that you were feeling towards this man subsides. And instead of seeing his faults, you see the things to be grateful for. I see great things in this woman. And I'm grateful that she gives everybody a chance that comes into her life. I'm grateful that Randy provides a platform so that she can have this here. I'm grateful for the friendship of James, for Grace, for Heather, for Chuck in the back, for anybody here, Linda, Pat. There's friendships that I used to take for granted. How many of you guys take your family for granted? We all do. We all do. My husband calls, I'm in a meeting. I told you I was in a meeting. Isabel calls, hey, I'm in a meeting. Can I call you back? Where's the gratitude? Where's the gratitude? Everybody stand up. Stand up. Look to the person beside you. If there's 3 of you, turn to all of them. And I want you to say, I am thankful that you're here tonight. I want you to look to somebody in the row behind you. And if you're the last row, look to the one in front of you. And I want you to give them a hug. I want you to hug somebody. Hug somebody. That's gratitude. We stop showing emotion when we don't open our hearts to joy. That's all I got for you tonight, guys.
Wow, wow. Thank you, thank you.